I guess we all remember about the World Conference on Women in Beijing about 27 years ago. The conference talked about gender equality, peace, and development for all women. Last year, Mwananchi Communications Limited, through the Citizen newspaper, initiated the Citizen Rising Woman. The initiative aims at documenting stories on women leaders to inspire other women to be leaders. Today, with me, your host, Salome Gregory, is Getrude Mpangile, the Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs and the Company Secretary at Total Energies Marketing Tanzania Limited. Together, we'll be talking about her career journey and how she has made it to be where she is today. Hello, Getrude.
Yes, Salome.
So how have you seen over the recent years? There's so much happening with women. How do you see that in your own opinion?
Okay, personally, I'm impressed with the initiatives that are being made locally and globally related to elevating women to the leadership positions. And so many companies and so many governments have put in place policies which are aiming at promoting women to hold senior positions, and it is progressing well in my opinion. Of course, we have not reached that level of 50-50, yes, but I'm impressed with the initiatives that are taking place from the communities, from the national level to the global level, to ensure that women are also holding the senior leadership roles in different aspects.
So with that, tell us about your career journey and the achievement, the milestone you have made over the years. How did it happen? Is it because of the efforts that are happening currently? How did it happen?
Okay, so, well, the genesis of my career goes back in 2007. When I graduated from the University of Dar es Salaam. And you know, as a fresh graduate stepping out of the university, you are trying to find a way in the community, in the job market, to see where you want to go. You don't have so much choices that I want to be this. Exactly. So what you're doing is to just, find opportunities and using that opportunity as a stepping stone. So it happened with me after my graduation. I met one professor from the Oxford University Center for African Studies. And how I met him is through a dialogue, a symposium that he was holding in the country related to youth involvement in development. So during the discussion and the contributions that I made in that symposium, he spotted a talent in me.
Wow.
So he offered me an opportunity of 6 months to work for a survey which the Center for African Studies of the Oxford University was conducting in the country. So as a local survey coordinator, so I was responsible to receive the students from Oxford who are stationed in Tanzania for their surveys, ensure that they get all the authorizations so that they can perform the study in a compliant environment, and ensure that I touch base with the local authorities from the village level where they were visiting to collect data, and ensure that everything is done in compliance with the laws and regulations of the country, but also getting the cooperation from different people, group of people that they were talking to. So for me, that was a stepping stone, and I really appreciate the experiences that I gained through this opportunity, because I interacted with these young people, young and vibrant people with different background, different nationalities, different upbringing. But the 6 months that I was exposed into this program were really they paved a way for me to be doing what I'm doing today. Then after I completed this project, I switched sectors, I switched industries and moved into the telecommunications sector, whereby I worked with one of the biggest market share companies in the telecommunications sector for a period of approximately 9 years. Okay. Yes, and within this organization, I was exposed into different aspects of the business, including commercial and legal and regulatory. So my commercial experience, really, I am grateful for this experience, because for me to be a corporate lawyer today, it needed me to have an understanding of the business and then understanding the legal and regulatory framework of the business. So through this organization, I acquired an extensive experience, which also nurtured my, leadership skills, because I started with a team of approximately 15 people. And then thereafter, when I moved into the legal department, it was a team of 3 people. So really, the leadership experience that I got through this organization was exemplary. After that, again, I switched into a different aspect.
Keep on switching.
Yes. I moved into technology sector. I joined a company called Tanzania Limited, which is part of the Azam Group.
Of which you kind of initiated to get the first license in the country.
Yes, this company was new for me, so it was a startup, starting a company from afresh. You can note that my previous roles, I found them already established. But when moved into this new company, it needed really my full engagement, commitment, and understanding on how I will be able to elevate the legal aspect that makes the business run. So it was a very good experience, again, to start a business and see it running, because the focus of this business, as I've told you, it was to put the proper technologies for the Azam Group. So we established the e-commerce platform. I think for those living in Dar es Salaam, they see the Saraf vans doing deliveries. So the end-to-end technological part of that business, I was involved into it. But also there was another portfolio that was to be established, which was the mobile money business. So traditionally in Tanzania, the mobile money services are offered by telecommunications. I know. So for the first time, I was able to acquire this license, which is non-related to the telecommunications. And the idea behind was to support the government's initiative on financial inclusion, to ensure that people have got access to transact without limitations of, this kind of network. I can transact only with this kind of network. So this is, of course, soon, I believe it is going to be live to the market. Wow. And I'll be proud to see that happening, because I know we had worked for this for almost 3 years to ensure that everything is put in place for the business to start. Yes. So in terms of the milestones that I've made through my career journey, I would say wherever that I've worked, I ensured that I leave behind the great team of professionals. For me, that is really something that I am proud of, because again, I believe in sustainability, I believe in succession planning. For me, I always tell my teams, even here at Total Energies, of which I joined last year, that one of the things that gives me comfort and joy is to see my team growing. So the contributions that I've made before to ensure that I elevate the teams to be ready to take the role that I was doing really gives me comfort and pride that, I have imparted required skills to the people that I was leading. So that is one of the milestones that I would say. But the second is experience, leadership experience. As I have highlighted, I've moved from one sector to the other. It's not an easy thing.
Not at all.
Yes, you find some people working for a certain sector for so many years, some of them until retirement. But for me, I kept, acquiring skills from all these different companies, of which they have given me a broader understanding of the corporate world. The corporate world requires, you know, flexibility, requires different aspects of business understanding, of which really I'm really comfortable that I acquired extensive corporate experience through the companies that they offered me, you know, the opportunities to work with them. And again, as I landed into Total Energies last year, which again is a switch of sectors, but I can tell you the milestones in terms of leadership skills, in terms of the experiences that I got where I worked before, they helped me so much into making sure that the responsibilities that I've been entrusted with within this company, they are well and greatly achieved.
So it all started with being spotted with your talent. What was the unique aspect of yours that made the professor recognize your talent? I think that is where the journey began. What exactly do you think was he spotted in you?
Okay. For me, then I have to go back at my early stages of upbringing, of growing, whereby, you know, I grew up in different areas of this country because the nature of my father's job was moving from, you know, one area to the other. We did not stay for so many years in one area. So there was a time we landed into an area where there was no kindergarten school. And I was at that age of starting kindergarten school. I am grateful for my parents because they decided that regardless of the environment we are in, we will ensure that you get that elementary schooling at home. So they homeschooled me. I learned reading, writing, counting at home, yes. And at a certain stage, because, you know, the parents had to go for work, so they lived a lot of responsibilities with me at that young age of 5, 6.
Taking care of yourself and your own business.
So I was just in the morning, find myself being left with homework, with books to read, with numbers to write. So as a child, you know, you would want to go out and play most of the time. So I found a way amidst of the assignments that I was given to make life easy. So I started to be creative. I remember there was a day when I was told to write a story. I ended up writing a letter to my cousin who was living in Russia. And when my parents came back home, really they were so proud of what they saw in that paper, and they decided to fold the letter and send that you know, letter to my cousin, who was so grateful that I wrote those stories for him. So this homeschooling, the reason why I'm telling you, the homeschooling developed this certain set of skills with me in terms of self-confidence, in terms of creativity, in terms of, you know, self-leadership, because I believe good leadership starts at a personal level. Yes, so when even I joined the university, I did not, you know, limit myself only into studies. I explored other opportunities where I could get experience and, you know, enrich my education journey that I was pursuing. This is when I landed into this opportunity with the professor who was conducting a symposium. And, you know, for me, because it was this automatic, because of the foundation that I was built with, then my confidence in asking questions, my contributions in improving the survey plan, they made, you know, this professor noted that, you know, there is a talent in this little girl and I want to elevate, and I'm so grateful for that.
Okay, that's quite interesting. And what about those 6 months program? What are the key areas that really transformed you to come to this employment of 9 years, as you said earlier? What are the key areas that picked you up from where you are to the next employment you had for the 9 years?
Okay, the experience that I got through these 6 months of moving in different regions of the country and interacting with different regulatory authorities from the local to the national level, They made me have, you know, a good understanding of how, you know, legal and regulatory environment is in the country. But also these 6 months they taught me on the importance of complying with the laws and regulations. But also they gave me, again, the opportunity to be able to lead, you know, people of different backgrounds, of different, you know, education level, of different upbringing. So it was not easy to bring them together, as I told you. Sometimes you'd find at the middle of the program someone finds something interesting outside of the program that we had for a day, but I would, you know, calmly and, you know, smiley, bringing them back to the line. So when I applied for this job in the telecommunication industry, the main responsibilities of this role was to lead a team of young and vibrant people again. So for me,
same job from where you came from.
Yes, so you could see, for me it came with passion, with a lot of understanding and experience of leading this group of young individuals who are vibrant, challenging, and always make sure that they achieve the goals that the business is wanting them to achieve. Yes.
You also mentioned the success thing that you did with Azam Pay. What did it take exactly for you as a corporate lawyer? Exactly. What are the things that you can wake up and say, like, analyze them, like number 1, number 2, and number 3? What happened to the point that you made it a success?
Okay, so this is my habit, because as you can refer that I've been switching, you know, sectors from here to there. For me, the first thing that I do when assigned the role, I do an analysis, a SWOT analysis. I analyze what opportunities are there, what are the strengths that we have as a business, what are the challenges that we anticipate that they will happen along the journey, and what is the legal and regulatory framework of the business that we are about to run. So I did that homework, I would say, very well, because again, to convince the regulatory authorities to give you a license, especially the license related to money, because you know electronic money is equal to the real money. So really the level of integrity, the level of compliance is very high. So it reached a point where I dedicated my time to study the entire ecosystem. Yes, I left aside that, you know, I am a lawyer, I need to only concentrate with the legal stuff. So I had to understand the whole system end to end, so that when I attend these meetings, you know, when you are a lawyer, people will trust you, will hear from you. So I had to be ready to respond even some technical questions. So there was no choice for me, rather than, you know, dedicating myself to get to understand the whole business from the technical point of view, financial planning, business planning, and of course legal and regulatory compliance that we are supposed to comply with. So with this, it was of course not a simple or an easy task. It had to, you know, sometimes you go and explain and it looks like, okay, we are aligned. Then after 2 days you hear something else. Yes, please come and explain, we are not satisfied with this area. You go back again. So it's that, you know, commitment, readiness, and also self-dedication to ensure that, you know, we achieve great results out of what we are rolling out.
This needs a lot of sacrifice, and there is a lot of pressure within. Now what about the balancing all this, like the working environment, home, your career, nurture your career, and like meeting all this and blending them to come at just one place, to align them? How is it working? How did it work?
Okay, yeah, the one thing that I should admit, that all the areas that I've worked in, including the current job at Total Energies, they are highly regulated. And when you are working in a highly regulated environment, sometimes you find the scale of work-life balance is not really balancing. You find sometimes the other side is up, the other side is down. And most of the time, the part that is not balancing well is the family part. Now, for me, you know, I'm really a family person. I should admit that. I'm fond of my family.
I've seen pictures of your family everywhere, in your office, on your WhatsApp.
Yes, so I'm fond of my family, and really one of the things that I would not, compromise with is to see my family suffering. But I'm grateful that I have a support system. A support system, well, first at the family level, then at work, the team that I have is really supportive. The leadership of the company that I'm working is really supportive as well. You know, when the scale is not balancing, I'm grateful that my husband has been very supportive, very supportive. I remember when I joined the energy sector last year, there was this day I was coming out of the office. It was really a busy day. Okay. You know, that busy day to the extent that you even forget to text your husband that, how are you doing today? Okay. And then when I stepped out of the office, I found his message, which was sent in the afternoon, and it was late. Really, that touched me a lot. But you know what I did? I tried to call him, you know, telling him I'm coming home and really we have to discuss and make resolution. And he was like, okay, I anticipate what you want to come and discuss, and I think we can even discuss while you are there before you leave. I know you want us to discuss about, you know, how the changes have happened so quickly and the environment that you are operating in. But let me assure you, we are okay. So when he said that we are okay and we will manage it, really it gave me relief. It gave me, you know, this strength that really, though the job is demanding, though, you know, I can be busy to the extent that I forget to text him back, but still he finds that this is relevant and I have to keep pushing. So it gave me strength, and he has been like that. I'm grateful he has been like that from the early stages of, you know, my formation. But also, as I've mentioned, the leadership of this company at Total Energies, we have an MD who is a fan of, you know, the women emancipation. So
I noticed it from the picture.
From the picture, how he,
the MD like in front of you.
Kneeling down for a picture.
Kneeling down for a group picture.
Yes, so he really helps me. He makes it easy even in the middle of the tough work. The good thing I like about him, one of the things that I like about him, you know, it happens that sometimes early in the morning you have to come here for a meeting like 7:30. When you step into his office or the venue that we are doing meeting, he does not go straight to, you know, the working agenda. He balances it by, you know, asking, hey, Getrude, how is your family? And the most interesting thing, he knows about my family like from his fingertips, which is really making me, you know, feeling like, you know, my family is here. So he would ask, how is your husband? How is your son who is in secondary school now? How is your daughter? Yes. How has it been for the past 2-3 weeks? So I get to share the things that I see, how the things are moving, you know, and we discuss before kicking off the meeting. So that friendly environment, that supportive environment, having a leader who is, you know, taking care, I mean, is caring about your family. You have seen by yourself today how everyone was organizing things for this, you know, arrangement of this interview. So that is how we operate in, and that is how, you know, I get support from different people, but also from my siblings, my sisters. They've been helpful. Sometimes I travel, and, you know, sometimes even passing by to see the kids and the family and do something small for them. That is something that I value, to make the environment, you know, warmly and friendly, but also the other groups of women that I'm associated with, the friends. You know, I have a friend, when I travel, she makes sure that she makes phone calls to my home, and, you know, checking on them, how are you doing? I know Mama is not around, but, you know, we are here in case you need anything. the group of professional women, the Women in Management Africa. You know, I have this big network. Whenever I face a professional challenge or I need a professional advice, they are there, they are hands-on. You ask a question, they give you the tips, the leads on how to resolve, you know, any challenge that you're facing. So I'm grateful with the support system that I have from the family to work to the community at large.
It's like you have created your own village of being supported everywhere.
Yes.
So now the challenge comes in for those women who wants to grow, but they can't find that particular environment, the one that you have. What's your suggestion? What can be done? Because not all offices are cultured, like the places you went through, like your family and your husband. What can we do to overcome that?
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I know there are a lot of women who are operating in environments which are challenging, which are not well balanced, maybe in some, you know, organizations with no proper structures. And some of them, they face challenges even at the family level. They are married, but they don't receive this kind of support from their families. Well, one thing that I would advise is first, you know, it begins with you. If you are in a situation where the organization is not well structured, start to be a structure with the team that you are associated with. You can do small things which, you know, they can have bigger impact without you knowing. Yeah, I like reading books. I once read a book by it is called Tipping Point. Yes, it is called Tipping Point, how small things, they can have bigger impact. That's the essence of that book. Yes, so this is why I'm saying, you know, you can find an environment which is not well structured, but start a structure. You start a structure with the 2 or 3 people that you are working together, how you support one another, and eventually, you know, these small actions are the ones which grow and become bigger. That is one. Number 2, at the family level, make sure the relevance of what you do goes back to the family. Yes, so that they can see the importance of you keeping on, you know, growing and working, because they know at the end of the day, whatever that you're pursuing has an advantage, a direct advantage to the family at home. Yeah, so I believe if, you know, somebody does such a thing, even though a person may not be supportive, but deep down they will see the importance of what you are doing to the family level. And, you know, as you grow later on and catch the attention of the community, of the nation, everyone will be there to support you eventually.
Okay, I can connect this with your personal strategies to have a supportive environment from what you have said earlier. You talked about believing in succession plan, seeing people growing. So what's your style? How do you use to accommodate all this and make it work at the end of the day?
Okay, that actually is a very good question. Thanks for, you know, popping it up. Well, my leadership style is, I would say, is inclusive by nature. And I have this slogan of leaving no one behind. So when I have a team of, you know, regardless how many people, I will ensure that everyone participates in the success that we do as a team. So, for example, when I joined Total Energies, one of the things that I did with my team is to spot a talent in everyone. Remember, I told you as I was spotted with a professor that I had a certain thing that he saw in me. So this is what I also do with my team. I know in my team I have the people who are good in article writing, because the corporate affairs part, we do corporate communications. I know exactly who is good in events planning. I know exactly on the legal side who is good in litigation in terms of going to courts and defend the company. I know who is good in contracts. I know who is good in general procedures and processes. So having, you know, spotted a talent from every of my team members, so whenever we have a task and I say, okay, on the communication part, you will do it. On the event planning, you will do it. We have this case, you know, you will do it. And eventually you find when we do our quarterly, half a year and annual review, everyone has participated in the achievement.
Okay. That's sort of coaching and mentoring. And climbing up your ladder, did you have like someone specific who mentored you to be who you are today, so that for you to the point that you decided to mentor others? And why is it important to coach and mentor people?
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much for that, you know, question, Salome. Well, throughout my career journey, I would say I had a mentor who came in naturally.
Okay.
I did not choose that, you know, and formalize it that from today you are going to be my mentor.
Okay.
Yes. You know, I met my husband when we were in high school. By then, he was just a brother to me.
Until things changed.
Until things changed.
Okay.
Until when he stopped me to call him brother.
Okay.
So I remember when we were students, we were belonging into we are Catholics, so we belonged to Young Catholic Students Organization. And this, I would say the time that I spent in this Catholic Students Organization has been really fruitful in my life, because that's when I got to know the person who married me later, but also we shared some common values, and at the very early stage he also spotted some things that he wanted me to grow.
Okay.
So from time to time he was coming to me, hey Getrude, there's this opportunity I think you can pursue. You know, you are good in this. There was a time where he saw in me that, you know, I was fitting for being a journalist.
Really?
Yes, and I tried.
You ran away from it?
I tried a little bit. We had some TV programs by then related to HIV/AIDS, which I was, you know, hosting. But later on, of course, things changed. For me, you know, being a journalist, you can fit anywhere. If you have really the journalist skills and qualities, you can fit anywhere. Like I've told you today, I'm handling this corporate affairs part of my business. I believe it goes back to the roots which my husband saw by then, that you can be, you know, a journalist, you can be a spokesperson.
Exactly.
Yes, so that mentorship went on and on until when we went to the university. He was a bit ahead of me, but also kept on, you know, in touch and, you know, telling me, you can do better, there's this opportunity, exposing me sometimes even to the international opportunities which were there. I remember there was a time where there was a competition of 60th anniversary of the Catholic Students Organization, and they wanted, you know, different entries from different countries of the world. So I remember I was like a bit reluctant to apply and to put in my entry, and I was like, I don't think I will win. He said, you know, you are going to win because I know you have this creative part of you which you have not yet utilized. So he coached me, he helped me until I entered my entry, and believe me, I won that prize. Really? Yes, I was among the top 3 entries that won the prize. So yeah, it went on. And again, when I started working, as I've told you, I did not go direct to the legal practice. So there was a time after we got married, and then I had a baby, then I started to be like, no, I'm not, I want to concentrate with my family, with, you know, my baby.
That's how we are.
That's how we are, and that's why we need some people who really have to elevate us, yes. So I was even reluctant to go and sit for my bar exam to become an advocate, because I wanted to concentrate with my family. And he said, you know what, you are going to do this, and you are going to do this and pass. Because for him, having a family, having a baby is a blessing, is not, I mean, an obstacle for me to continue growing. Okay. So I remember him, you know, taking my certificates and submitting them to the High Court behind my back. Then, yes, there was this day I received a call that I was called for the bar examination, and I was like,
what's happening?
yes, so it's, you know, it clicked in my mind, this should be my husband who has submitted these papers. And he said, yes, and you have to start preparing for that. and you have to pass because I know you have the capabilities. So he took the responsibilities of taking me to the discussion groups which we were doing in different law firms. He would come along with the baby. If you want to breastfeed, come out and breastfeed, then proceed with the discussion. So I'm grateful after I sat for the exams, I passed in the first sitting, but yeah, so it was really, really a nice thing to talk about.
Okay, I can see how the connection goes. And now let's talk about the policies. You said most of the areas now they have those policies. Here at Total Energies, do you have specific policies that are aiming at empowering women, like to grab the top positions?
Yes, yeah, that's actually a very good question because really at Total Energies we are proud of one of our great policies on diversity. This policy really, since it was introduced, we have observed a lot of changes in terms of growing up the number of women, first of all, in the organization, but number two, the growth of women from different roles, from juniors to middle management to the senior level. With this diversity policy, employees are free to apply to any opportunity that is emerging in the company, regardless of their gender. So one of the good examples that we have and we are proud of, you know, at Total Energies we have our lubricant blending plant, which traditionally was led by men. But 2 years ago, after introduction of this diversity policy, we have managed to have the first female plant manager who is doing a great job there. I wish one day you go and see by yourself. Exactly. We can do a tour. Well. Yes. She's amazing. She's operating in a very real operational technical environment, but you find her with the proper PPEs in the plant, ensuring everything is moving smoothly from the production, from the level of the equipment, from, you know, the supply, because after the product it comes to the becoming a finished product, it has to be delivered somewhere. She's ensuring all those aspects are operated and run smoothly. That is one of the great things that I can say about the diversity policy. But also, we apply diversity even in the employment opportunities that we have, you know. After introduction of the diversity policy, we have seen a good number of women coming in as employees in this company. Yeah, and creating a very good balance between men and women. But also we have the young graduate trainee, young graduate trainees program, whereby, you know, female candidates are highly encouraged to apply. Yes, especially for the jobs that have been traditionally being done by men. And we have seen really a very good improvement on that. But also we apply diversity on even expatriation. You know, Total Energies is a multinational company. We have operations in different parts of the world, Africa, America, Asia. Yes, so we have the expatriate opportunities whereby people are taken to different countries. So we are proud that after introduction again of the diversity policy, we have had the first woman being expatriated to go and acquire this international exposure. Yes, yes. So really I'm grateful for the company and for the initiatives, the policies that are in place. And really they gave me the motivation to join this company because I know as a woman, I have the equal opportunities as men. There are proper processes and procedures which will make me, you know, elevate to more than where I am today.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your conversation, I noticed a lot of formal training, local and international both. As you said, like the woman that went to study more. Why is it important for people to have more trainings as they grow up?
Okay. Well, you know, knowledge, I can compare knowledge with a moving vehicle. A moving vehicle, if you don't do service for it, if you don't apply lubricants, it reaches, you know, I'm in the energy sector,
I
so
know,
I give you live
even
example.
the words is like you.
Okay, so if you don't apply lubricants, it reaches a point it stacks.
Exactly.
So it's the same level with career growth, with knowledge. The knowledge that you acquired like 10 years ago, if it is not developed, if it is not nurtured, it remains stagnant.
Exactly.
This is why, even at my personal level, I like, you know, developing myself in terms of, you know, attending different training opportunities. Like I told you, when I was at the university or at secondary school, I wouldn't stuck and limit myself only studies, exams, and score an A. For me, an A has to come with another set of skills, another set of experiences and knowledge. So I remember when I was at the university, I got this opportunity to go through the training under the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, which is a Germany-founded organization. They had a one-year leadership course. It was called the Young Leadership Training Program. So through this program, I was prepared to hold different leadership opportunities that are coming on my way. But also after I started working in 2019, again, I saw an opportunity through the Swedish Institute to pursue the business leadership training program.
Quite an expansive experience.
Yes, so really this training has nurtured me to be ready to take the positions, even the sector that I'm working now. Because through this training, I was exposed into different aspects of business sustainability, environmental sustainability, here at the local level, but at the international level, because we had to go through practical training in Sweden, where I was attached with the motor vehicle production company called Volvo. So I saw how they, you know, they continue with business, but also they become responsible to the community. They give back to the community, and they have different initiatives that they do to protect the environment. So the knowledge, the experiences that I got there, they enable me to also, you know, come in with ideas in the energy sector. You know how the energy sector is. Sometimes somewhere, you know, people would say, you know, environment and whatnot. But again, here in place, we have different initiatives that we are doing to ensure that we protect our environment. We have programs on planting trees. We have programs on cleaning the environment. We have now the company is you know, expanding its wings to start providing renewable energies. All these are for the aim of, you know, protecting the environment, but also protecting the people, but also, you know, providing opportunities to the local people that we have for them to come and practice their skills.
Now, talking about giving opportunities to local people, this can be somehow, somewhere connected to the women maybe at a certain company here around who have refused to grow. You see this something of like, I cannot do it. I am comfortable here. I'm being paid at the end of the day. I go home. What's your advice? The opportunities are there, as you said, but we can choose not to grow. What is your advice on that?
Okay, my advice, especially to girls and women out there, you know, we are capable of doing great things that no one can ever imagine. So I know there is a little bit of reluctance, like I told you, when we start having families, you know, we want to only concentrate with a certain set of environment. It becomes our comfort zone. So my advice is for every woman and girl there, do not stay in a comfort zone. Ensure you challenge yourself every day. It's through these challenges that you can, you know, fully utilize the potentials that you have. So let people come out of their comfort zone, especially for the girls and women, and start, you know, grabbing these opportunities which are availed out there.
Okay, and now with challenging yourself, what are the things that you would wish to change, the challenges that you went through, going back as when you're growing? What are the things that you would wish to change today, given an opportunity?
Okay, that is actually a very good question. Well, I would say, there was a time when, looking at it today, I believe there was a time when I was ready to take a leadership role, and I was a bit reluctant, thinking that, I'm not ready until when I feel like I'm ready. But what I can...
readiness will never come.
Yes, that's what I want to insist, that there's no point in time, there's no point in your career life you will conclude that, I'm ready to now take this position. The point is when you decide to take it. After you take that opportunity, you will now start to realize, oh, I could do greater things. I can achieve this. I can do more than what it was expected. So, and that has been my great lessons that when looking at certain situations today, I believe I could, grab the leadership opportunities earlier than I expected.
Okay. You said something about not leaving others behind. And now, as you can see, there's a lot of campaigns, programs that are aiming at empowering women. Don't you think somehow, somewhere we are leaving men behind? And what are the dangers?
Okay, well, first of all, this issue to do with women being left behind is a bit historical, and we are not there yet with the balancing of 50-50. That is one. So a lot of initiatives that are going on, I commend them to continue, because, girls are keeping, growing and coming up in this Mother Earth. So they need us to set the proper environment for them to overcome the historical, limitations that have been in place. That is one. But number two, as we grow our girls and women to be, independent, to be powerful, we are not supposed to leave the men behind. Let's blend together and let the men be part of elevating a girl child and a woman. Because if we do not do that, there will be sort of a gap somewhere. For us to be successful, men and our boys, they have to be part and see the importance of, having the good number of women in leadership roles, seeing the women succeeding. But also to prepare the upcoming boys generation, the current and upcoming boys generation, to be able to blend and live and appreciate the efforts and the successes that are done by women. It is through that cooperation we'll be able to, pursue the agenda of emancipating women. We'll be able to, let the community and the world know, yes, women are relevant into the development of the community and the world.
Okay, so in case I did not give an opportunity for you to say anything that you think it is important for it to be said right now, what would that be?
Okay. Well, I have many. I will try to narrow down.
Exactly.
Yes. One, I would like to speak about my career philosophy. My career philosophy has always been to always strive to be extraordinary. The world is moving fast, very fast. So as businesses, the business environments, they change fast. So most of the time, they require extraordinary people. And to be specific for women, as we, tackle this challenge of women in leadership, for me, I believe if those given opportunities, including myself, they do their roles extraordinarily, That way they pave the way for other women to be trusted and be given opportunities to lead. So I would encourage every woman who is holding a leadership role anywhere, at every level, to ensure that they're always extraordinary, so that they can show the way to the upcoming and growing women, to see that, you know, it is for a woman to really succeed and get noticed and be appreciated, you need to do things extra.
For every woman who is a leader, who is in a position to make change, please pave a way for others and do extraordinary things. And for those women who are refusing to grow, get out of that comfort zone. Keep reading the Citizen newspaper and follow us on our social media platforms. We'll be bringing you a series of stories on women leaders. Until next time, Salome Gregory. Bye-bye.